with the girl.
It's part two. Talk to me.
So yeah, I just thought about what you said, so I just double texted them. But I just texted them. I just sent them a TikTok, and I just said, "Oh, this TikTok reminded me of the poem you performed." And then it was going very good because she sent me 4 messages back to back. The first two were just her saying stuff about her schedule, and then when she'd be. Then the last two was her saying basically she just gave me like dates and time for when we could hang out. And like she gave me an exact date and time. And then I was like, all right, cool. We in. And then she said, and then I told her like, oh, I'm trying to do XYZ on that day with you. And then that's when she said that she's that she's seeing somebody, and then well, we could be like cool though or something. And then yeah, that's it.
What was the 4 messages that she sent you? Repeat that.
Like the first two was her just explaining like how busy her work schedule has been, and then they were basically just explaining when she'd be free. So the first two, I didn't respond. Like the first two were just her saying that she's been busy.
Right.
She just moved. She had families coming in for the holidays. She had some work stuff going on, and then the last two was her saying like giving an exact date. So she asked me if I was free on these 2 days to do XYZ. And then, yeah, so after I sent the video, she immediately sent like 4 messages back to back. So I thought it was going good.
Right.
But then, yeah, she's
No, so here's my approach with guys, right? When I coach guys. The things I tell them to do, it's like even if it doesn't work for you, you just learn something.
yeah.
You just learn that one, double texting is not no huge big deal that you have to like avoid like the plague, right? Because it oftentimes gives you the clarity that you're looking for. So you thought you were being just completely like curved and that this woman had no interest in you. When in reality, looks like she was already dealing with somebody. Now, I wouldn't like the fact that she was handing over her contact information. If I was her man, I wouldn't like that. Right? Just really giving her number out like that. But you got the clarity that you sought, and you know how to send multiple texts in the right way. In a way that's not like you badgering somebody and being a complete turn
because I
off.
thought about what you said, so I just said something but unrelated. And then
Right.
that's when she really got on topic of what I really wanted to talk about.
Right.
Just sending something because I wasn't really worried about before. Yeah.
Right. And remember so that was like the secondary lesson from our conversation. For those of you in the chat that don't know, this young man was talking to this young lady who was at a poetry night where she was performing, and she like talked his head off the entire night. Right. And then when he tried to set up, they exchanged numbers and everything. When he tried to set up the date, she kind of mysteriously vanished. Yeah, Bubble Tay. She told him that she's seeing somebody after he sent her another text, like basically saying that this reminded him of her, right? So that's good. But the main thing is for you to establish, you could have gotten that clarity sooner. And the way that you would have gotten that clarity sooner is just coming out the gate with your intentions instead of playing it safe and, get her number under what she probably assumed was a platonic pretense.
Okay. How could I like make it more obvious the next time?
Just flirtation, to be honest with you, brother.
Oh.
Like flirtation, just being a bit playful. Andre said, "But you did good, Typo. You did do good, Typo. We all applaud you in your attempts." But just even saying something like, she looks good, right?
Yeah.
Is enough to kind of convey that you have like romantic interest in her. Remember, when you're talking to women, you want to make it like man to woman, meaning like you are a man who has clear romantic interest in a woman. You don't have to be super overt with it, but it needs to be declared either overtly or via the subtext.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem, bro. But keep me posted with other updates, man. You should go back to the poetry night. Obviously, you're like a beacon for a poetry chick. So it's like, put yourself. Once you find like a type that really fucks with you, try to find more of that type. I got a homeboy who like baristas. eat him up, both literally and figuratively. But like, so he dates a lot of baristas. So you find like a subtype that seems to dig you. You probably should go where they frolic.
Yeah,
You
I'm
feel
about
me?
to get into poetry. Let you know if anything else happens.
My
Thanks.
man, my man. All right, bro. Best luck to you. It's good to see that Typo didn't die from the popcorn he was eating last night. All right. What other callers do we have? We got a few people in the queue, but I don't know if these people who attempted to join or who joined accidentally. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay, and you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Thank you.
Is there a child dying in the background? What's going on? What was happening with that? That definitely was a matchmaking person. People, this is not matchmaking, so if you're here for that, you might as well go ahead and skedaddle. That's not what this is for. This is questions and answers. So if you have a dating and relationship issue and you need some guidance on it, that button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, you can hit that, request up. I will bring you up and solve your issue. You can also drop your question in the chat and I will answer it there. Just be advised that callers get first priority and they also get better answers. Guaranteed solution to their issue. I cannot promise the same if you drop your question in the chat. Also, if you're new here, make sure to follow. I go live twice a day. I'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if you like this kind of content, you should stick around, right? Whoops. The fuck? What's up, Duchess? How do I manage lust? Try to stop feeding it. It's like I know some guys who are like really struggle with corn. Probably shouldn't get on Twitter or Reddit. Don't do that. Big mistake. Big mistake. That's where them OF chicks get most of their clientele. What if he went back to his BM after we broke up but still wants us back together? I wouldn't do that. No, if he went back to his BM after y'all broke up, that means he's still tethered to her. Okay? Yo, hello. All right. Why do men get so mean after breakups? I don't think that's like a ubiquitous issue. What's happening in your situation? How are you breaking up with people? This might be a you issue. Are you doing them dirty? Are you doing them dirty, beloved? Again, people, if you have a question or issue pertaining to dating and relationships, you should join the live. You can request up by hitting the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I will solve your issue. We have a week broken up, and she keeps telling me she missed me and want to try, but doesn't know. Doesn't know what. Hello.
Fuck you.
All right, let's get the kids out of here. That's Danny. Let's find his IP address and report him to his mother. So whoever you just did, like I have an IT person here. He's going to find your IP address, and we're going to message your mother and tell her what you just did. So prepare for that ass whooping. Essentially, is what I'm saying. All right. See if Dog Boy connects. All right, let's give Dog Boy a second. All right, Dog Boy. Seems like your connection's off, brother. Request back again when you improve that connection. Yeah, Danny will find that IP address. Danny will do it. He's like them people in the movies, like, and I'm in, right? And I'm in. That's Danny, one of my mods. Play around you want to. All right, let's see if Dom connects. Okay, Dom, your connection seems shitty. I would suggest getting off Boost Mobile, brother. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Hello.
Yo.
What's going on, man? All right, taking too long. You gotta stay off the bud, brother. Slowing you down. Hello.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
All right, so I need some like help because my girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's got like really bad mental health, and like she's always like, not to me, but she's always talking to her friends and stuff about like killing herself or like cutting or stuff like that, and like
Right.
I don't know what to do.
Okay. How long have you been with her?
Like we've been together since October of last year.
Okay. How old are you two?
15, both of us.
15?
So yeah, we're kind of young, it's
Can't do the 15, brother. Can't be liable for that. Gotta go. Deep ass voice for 15 though. Are you sure you're 15? Your parents may have lied to you. Sometimes that happens. When you get held back in school, sometimes your parents want to save your ego. So they tell you that you're younger than you're 22. You're 22, they held you back a lot. You're actually 22 years old. I hate to be the one to break that news to you. 22 and a half, I would say. If I had to bet, 22 and a half, you're damn near 23. Why do you think you're the only one with a goatee and a receding hairline? That ain't normal, bro. That ain't normal, all right? Okay, let's keep it moving. Again, if you have a issue with dating and relationships, you can request up. I will solve your issue.
Yo, what's good?
Okay, you gotta go. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm good. I have a question.
Okay.
So I've been dealing with this guy for a year and a half. Very intentional with dating, going on dates, traveling, but haven't been asked the question yet to be girlfriend. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so you've been dating this guy for how long?
A year and a half.
Year and a half? Oh, shit. That didn't register the first time you said it.
Yes, it's been a year and a half.
Okay, how did you meet him?
Mutual work.
Okay. And how old are you two?
33 and 34.
33 and 34. All right. How long have both of you been single?
I was fresh out of a divorce, so 2 years, and then him a year.
Okay.
But he had like a really bad heartbreak.
Tell me about that. How long was he with his ex?
5 years.
Okay. And he was single for a year before he met you?
Yes.
Okay. And you were going through a divorce, or you was fresh out of a divorce, you said?
Fresh out of
For how long?
6 months.
6 months. And how long was the marriage?
Together 10 years, married 5.
Okay. Okay. It's kind of fast, is it not, love? You connect with somebody else?
Yes.
Okay. What's the longest you've been single? Without like romantically entertaining anybody? Like single.
Never really have been.
Okay. That's the first problem here.
Okay.
That's the first problem. The first problem is when I talk to women and coach women, one pattern that I've seen is the ones who have never really been by themselves for real normally need to be with somebody romantically. And this is the problem that it creates. When you're single and you need to be with somebody, it makes it urgent that you find someone, right? So you need to urgently find someone. And when it becomes urgent, you tend to make bad decisions.
True.
Good decisions are normally made slowly. Bad decisions are often made quickly. So that's probably going to be the core of the problem with this relationship.
Right.
Right? But I'll continue to ask you questions about this. So in what way was he hurt in his previous relationship?
Cheating.
Okay, so his woman cheated on him?
Partner. Yeah.
Okay. And when he told you about this situation, like what was the context of which he shared this information? Like what did he say?
It took a while for him to like open up about it because I was very curious on the behaviors of like us continuing months and months on and still haven't. So it became a conversation of him basically, saying, I was hurt in the past and, I really, really, really do love you, but I'm really afraid that this cycle may happen again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And y'all been together for a year and a half. So when did he share that information? Around was it month 3, month 6?
I can't recall. I don't even remember.
Okay. All right. Have you talked about the fact that you want to be in a relationship, that you want commitment?
I have, but I think because we've been like, and you know how people say like, oh, well, he doesn't do this. It's not other women. That's why it makes it so hard and confusing because it's like the commitment is there, but not the title. Like dates, consistency. I'm here, he's there.
Right.
Like the consistency's there. It's not he's here and treats you like shit.
So it's like if y'all did put a title on things, nothing would really change.
Nothing would change.
Right.
Nothing would change.
Okay. And what was his response when you talked to him about this issue?
It would be the same. Like, I'm scared. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So when you're considering that you've been with him that long, you can't give him more time here.
Right.
Normally I would have women, like, let's say if they were around like month 3 or something like that, I would have women that I coach operate off of their internal timeline. And then if that time elapses and there's no movement, then they need to draw a line in the sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been with him long enough. There is no need for a internal timeline. You have to draw a line in the sand right now, which is like, should I get off the pot, right? So if you want to continue dealing with me, then this needs to be a relationship. If not, then I have to respectfully end things. No harm, no foul. But you got to be willing to leave when you have that conversation.
That's a fact.
Okay?
That's the hard part, I think.
Right. When you have this conversation, you have to be willing to walk away. You can't bluff it. Because if you bluff it, they're not going to take you seriously. Okay? So you got to be willing to walk away. And if that does happen, if you do have this conversation with him, this final conversation, this line drawn in the sand conversation, and he doesn't move this or progress this towards a relationship, and you become single again, stay single for a little bit.
Okay.
No situationships, no casual connections. Get to know who you are outside of a romantic connection. Because right now, you don't know who she is. You don't know who that woman is.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right,
Thank
love.
you.
Well, keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Cool. That was a good little conversation. Y'all think she's going to leave if she draws the line in the sand? I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen that go both ways. Ideally, you want to not have to do that. You want to have to not draw the line in the sand, right? Ideally. But it goes, when I have this conversation with clients, I tell them it's going to go one of two ways. Either the relationship is going to form or it's going to end. You have to be prepared for both. Also, if any of you are having issues with dating and relationships, you're spiraling, you don't know if you should leave, you should stay, what you should do, if this is a good person for you or not, your ex is trying to come back, should I go with him, should I go with her, right? All those issues, we solve that in our 1 hour coaching call. We answer the questions that you have and the questions you haven't even thought of answering, okay? So, if you want your 1 hour coaching call, this icon right here, hit that button below. Shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help you, I will send you a link to book your call. Okay. Also, if you're new here, make sure to follow. I go live twice a day. I'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Okay. Who else do we have? Who else do we have? A lot of people in the queue. A lot of folks in the queue. I want some of my fellas to come up too, man. We don't want to make this ladies' night today. I need some of my guys to come up. Yo, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Man, I've never really done nothing like this, so excuse me for.
You're good. Take your time, baby.
Second, but
take your time.
I'm 25 years old, and I've essentially been in a relationship for 7 years with my partner.
Okay.
And it recently just ended, probably like 24 hours ago. And I, by no means am I like the perfect partner, but I feel like I do try my best to be the not perfect partner, but a good partner. And so I just kind of want to I don't want to go like into too much detail, but I do definitely want to kind of like explain what happened and kind of like what you said. Should I give her space? Should I try to get back together? Should I give her, time? Like what I should really do?
You said it was a 7-year-long relationship, right?
7 years, yeah.
Okay.
7 years in January.
Was this like an abrupt end, or was it like something that you saw coming?
I don't know. Like when it happened, I was shocked. I can tell you that.
Gotcha. Okay, so you didn't see it coming.
Part of me does maybe feel like I could have maybe.
You felt something going on. You just didn't think it would be this.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did it end? It's better if you give the details, but let's start with like just a general description of why it ended. Let me see if I can work with that.
So I feel like it ended because I think we're two different people that sometimes have different point of views and things. And no, there's no cheating. We're both loyal. We have a very loving relationship. I'm cool with her family. She's cool with my family. We've been together since high school. And okay, I am gonna go into detail on what happened that started everything, basically. So our relationship was basically stemmed on transparency, honesty, openness. Like whatever was hers was mine, whatever was mine was hers. That's kind of what we built our foundation on, right? I'm not the partner to be obsessive where I have to know what she's doing or who she's texting. I don't have access to none of that. The only thing I have is her passcode and her location. So I'm not that type of boyfriend that's like obsessive. We've been together for 7 years. I trust her. So essentially what started everything was that she bought a privacy screen protector that kind of, I'm pretty sure you know what that is, where it blocks like everything except the person looking at the phone.
Right.
So again, I trust her 100%. I just thought that it was kind of out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her about it. I was like, oh, at first I was like, oh, what are you like? Because I was sitting down, she was messing with her phone. I was like, oh, what did you get? And she's like, oh, I got a new case and I got a new screensaver or screen protector. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I didn't think anything of it. It was like 2 or 3 seconds later, like a little slight pause, that she was like, oh, just like, so you know, it's like a privacy screen protector where you can't really see nothing. And I was like, what? It just threw me off for a second. Like, it was kind of a shock factor because it was just out of nowhere. Like, she has access to my Instagram. She has access to everything that I own, and I don't have access to none of that stuff for her. I don't know her Instagram password. I don't even know her email like that. So, in our 7 years, there's never been indication that she has done anything suspect, except literally 24 hours ago. She bought a screen protector or whatever, and it just threw me off. So when I wanted to have that conversation of like, what is the reason that you have, why'd you get that screen protector? She kind of was just like laughing at my genuine concern. Not laughing at me though, but it was kind of laughing like, oh, I can't believe that this is a conversation. Like, kind of like, I guess, diminishing what I was voicing my opinion to her about. And again, I'm not accusing her of cheating. That did not come out of my mouth. All I said was, that's just kind of sudden. Like, I don't know, like, what's, like, is weird. And keep in mind, she works from home. I work from home too. So, and she doesn't really go out. When she does go out, it's with me. So, like, if she worked at an office or something, or had coworkers, or made money from her phone, I would be like, okay, that makes sense, and I would not think anything of it. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. But she works from home, and she's with me like 98% of the time. Again, not accusing her of nothing, but that's kind of what happened. I got a little frustrated and angry when I voiced my concern that she was just kind of like laughing it off, and I had to kind of like just walk away. And again, was I going to break up with her for that? No. It's just, I feel like it's valid to have that concern and just question her about it, just even have a conversation about it. That's kind of what my first instinct was. So what do you think about that?
It's more like a yellow flag. It's like you would need more evidence.
Right, exactly. So again, I told her, look, I'm not accusing you of nothing because you've never given me any reason to, but just the fact that you kind of got it out of nowhere, and it's just the principle of relationship. We've been so open and honest, and our foundation has been being like 100% honest. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. That didn't even get me mad. What got me kind of frustrated was that as a man, number one, if we don't show emotions, if we just bottle it up inside and don't say nothing, we're in the wrong. But if we voice our opinion and we kind of explain what's going on or how we feel, it might not get taken seriously. So that's kind of where I got frustrated because she's laughing or whatever. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just walk away because clearly this conversation that I want to have is not really being taken serious. So I just walked away and gave myself space, whatever, cool. But that's not what broke us up. That's just kind of like what started on.
What broke y'all up?
That's the thing. So I recently tore my ACL, and
so the screen protector had nothing to do with it.
No, not really. That's just kind of what like, I don't know.
Worst storyteller of all time you are, huh? Worst storyteller. You had all of us on bated breath. I was on the edge of my seat.
No.
I was on the edge of my seat. The screen protector. The screen protector did it.
I'm not good at this.
No, I'm messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you. You're good. Now the next thing that you tell me is why y'all broke up.
Okay, so
all right.
That's the thing. It's not as we've been together for 7 years, so it's not like just like, oh, this happened, we broke up. Like I feel like the way we broke up was like an emotional buildup.
Okay.
So basically, I tore my ACL, whatever, and I had to go to my doctor's appointment to remove my stitches and my post-op, so on and so forth. And when I was getting ready, and we weren't really talking, and she knows that I have my appointment, and she basically drives me to my appointments. But I can drive. I'm able to drive. it's just not ideal. You know what I'm trying to say? So, well, I'm getting ready in front of her, whatever. I'm getting ready, and it's mutual that, you know, we have to get ready for my appointment. So she's not really talking to me, or like not really getting ready or anything like that, not showing any type of, like, she's not showing that she's getting ready to like take me. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm like, whatever. She's, you know, we're not talking. She's in bed, not really moving or saying anything. So I'm just gonna have to go to my appointment because I have to. It's a 25-minute drive, and I have to go to my appointment. And so I started getting ready, whatever. I put my brace on. I started getting ready to go to my appointment, and she loses it. She's like, oh, she does the same thing. The moment I go into my car to get ready to leave, she like blows up and calls me and is like, oh, are you planning on driving? Are you crazy? Da, da, da. Now, she didn't just call me crazy. She called me a lot of bad things, but whatever. Like, she was obviously mad, and she was going through a lot personally, like with her family that I'm not going to go into detail with, but she's just been going through a lot. I've been going through a lot, and all I want to do was just go to my appointment, but she lost it, and she out of nowhere was just like, oh, I can't forgive you for this, that you were trying to drive. Are you crazy? I'm like, bro, I can drive. I promise you that. I'm just trying to go to my appointment. We need space, we need time. Like, we haven't even talked about what happened yesterday. And she was just like, oh,
What happened yesterday?
The screen protector thing.
Okay, so it was the day before.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, oh, and I was shocked when he said that. When she said that, I was so shocked. I was like, what? Like, this is like an emotional. I think like everything's been happening with her family, on top of like our issues, and on top of
what issues?
Her family issues that she's been going through.
No, you
like
said
I can't.
Yeah, you said your family issues, but you said you're also you and hers issues. So what issue other than the screen protector? What other issues were y'all having?
That's the thing. We're good. We've been good. Other than that, we've been good.
So why did you say your issues then?
Like my issues, as in like I've been going through my issues, like physically, like, you know, like being dependent on her. Like, I'm basically in bed like all the time because I'm still recovering from my ACL. I had my ACL surgery like probably like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so there was no argument.
She was mad at me for driving. She was mad at me for driving. I'm sorry, I mentioned the comment real quick. She was mad at me for driving, even though I can drive and I'm capable of driving. But she
don't focus on the comments. Don't. This is where the good questions are coming from. Okay. So, was there any arguments y'all had before you hopped in the car?
No, we hadn't spoke.
You hadn't spoke that day. What time was it when you left?
Probably like 9:30 in the morning. I was getting ready to leave like at 10.
Okay. How long had both of you been up at the time?
I woke up at 9:30 and I immediately started getting ready.
Okay. So you woke up. Was there agreement for her to drive you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like that's already like a known thing. She's driving me everywhere, to my physical therapy, to.
Okay. So why did you decide to drive yourself?
I decided to drive myself because we were not talking, and like I said, she knows that I have my appointment at 11. I know I have my appointment at 11.
Do you normally give her like the silent treatment when y'all have arguments?
No, not really. When we normally have arguments, we have a discussion, we talk about it, we move on, like probably like within the first 2 hours.
Okay. Why was this situation different with the screen protector?
The situation was different because like when she started laughing at me and stuff, and like just kind of like when I voiced my concern, she didn't really take it serious. So I just kind of like wanted to have a level head. And usually like if we try not to go to sleep mad, but this time it did. So maybe that played a factor in like, oh, we haven't talked since yesterday, and if there's still nothing to talk about yet, then we're just kind of be quiet, like just give ourselves space.
Okay. So she buys a screen protector. You question the motives behind it. She laughs at you. You get mad. Just stop talking to her because you don't want to snap on her. Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all go to
exactly.
So then y'all go to sleep mad. You wake up the next day, even though you agreed to have her drive you there. You decided to drive yourself because you were being passive aggressive. Not because, oh, logically we weren't talking, so I have to continue not talking now. You were being passive aggressive, right? Okay. So you got into the car, and you started driving. And she calls you and says what?
She comes, she's like, are you thinking about driving? And I'm like, yeah, I have to go to my appointment. And then that's when she snapped.
And she said what?
She basically, the gist of it, like I said, I'm not gonna go into specifically what she said, but the gist of it was that like she thinks that like it was crazy to do that.
Okay.
When I yeah.
Okay. And then she broke up with you on the phone right then?
No, she ended up coming into the car and driving me to my appointment, and on the way there to the appointment, that's when she kind of like broke up with me.
What did she say?
We're done. I can't be with someone like this. She went back to like, oh, you're accusing me as if like I cheated on you or something, and I went, we went back and forth. I explained to her like I didn't accuse you cheating.
What did you say to her specifically when you brought up the phone screen protector? And I need a transcript of what you said. No,
Okay.
This is the jest. What did you say to her?
Okay, so she got the phone, and I was like, oh, babe. Okay, I was watching a game, and she pulled up, and she sat next to me, and she started applying stuff on her phone, whatever. I didn't think anything of it, and then I told her, I was like, after like a few minutes, she was still doing it, so I was like, oh, babe, like, did you get like a new case or something? Like, just conversating. And that's when she explained to me, like, oh, no, I just got a case and a new screen protector. And then that's when she told me, like, oh, it's a privacy screen protector. And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, why? Like, I literally said, I was just like, why? Like, why'd you get that? And then she was like, oh, because when I go out in public, I don't want people looking at my phone. And when I pull up, like, my bank information or something, like, I don't want no one seeing my phone. And I'm like, okay, that's valid. But, like, when you do go out, you go out with me. And at the same time, like, I don't know, like, most of the time you're with me, you work from home. We're together 98% of the time. And I just, like, if you want to pull up something personal in public or something, like, I feel like you can just do that for, like, a split second. Like, again, I'm not accusing her or nothing. I'm just saying, like, oh, I'm just trying to understand. That's what I was trying to tell her.
Right.
And I told her, I reassured her. I was like, I'm not building a narrative that you're cheating on me or nothing. I will die on a hill that you've been loyal to me. I have no reason to believe that. And I said that to her. And I told her I just found it kind of weird, like out of nowhere. That's it. And it's just the principle of our relationship. We've been super open.
Okay.
And that's when she started laughing, like literally just laughing, like, oh my God. Like, and I'm like, bro, but like, I told her that I'm trying to have like a serious conversation. Like, I'm just.
Do you normally so when y'all have conflict, do you normally bring up issues to her?
Yes.
Okay. Has she ever laughed before? How does she normally handle that?
Yeah, she laughs.
She laughs when you bring up issues?
Yeah.
So that's a normal thing for her.
Yeah.
Why does she have all your information but you don't have any of hers?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? I need you to know, brother. So did she ask? Have you ever asked for hers and she said no?
No, I've never asked.
Okay. Why does she have your information?
She just came up to me one time. I was like, oh, I want your information. I said, okay. I have nothing to hide. So she took it.
Okay. But you never asked for hers?
No.
What do y'all typically have conflict around?
Like, really minor stuff. Literally, like, minor stuff. Like, oh, I should have, like, why'd you leave your socks on the floor? Oh, my bad. And, like, she's like, oh, like, just like literally, we've never had, like, any major fight in our 7 years.
Does she bring up more issues than you do?
No.
So you bring up more issues?
Yeah.
And she doesn't try to solve the issue typically. She normally, like, dismisses it?
Yeah. It's not even issues. It's more like, oh, this is how I feel. This is how I felt about something or whatever. And
that's you talking. You say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
and then she responds with what?
Doesn't really give like the clarity. She's just like, oh, like, okay, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
she doesn't like have a conversation. She just kind of like either like agrees very quickly and moves on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sometimes.
Okay, I will tell you this: if she broke up with you for that reason, she wanted to already. That's not her breaking up with you was not a proportional reaction to that situation. Has she ever like found anything suspicious after having your information? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Assuming everything you're saying is completely accurate. I don't like it. feedback on your end, you got to have a bit more like boundaries in your connections. You seem to be in this relationship a bit of a pushover. Probably have some degree of anxious attachment, if you know what that means. Right, so you're the one who's bringing up the issue. You're the one who's communicating your feelings. Does she really communicate her feelings at all?
No, I've told her before, like, I sometimes feel like you're close, but because it's not about me always coming to her about how I feel. She struggles with communication. She
Right.
does more of the silent thing, and she told me that she's like, oh, I'm gonna work on that. Like, I know when we come to this agreement or something happens, like, I need to come forth and we need to have a conversation. Like, we can't
Right.
let our feelings bottle inside.
Right.
But
So
she's not really good at that.
she
So
shuts
I've been,
down.
I've always been patient with her, and that's why I give her that space, because I know a lot of times when things happen at the moment, she's not ready to have that conversation.
Right. So she shuts down when you have
Yeah.
like, okay, it sounds like you're an anxiously attached person with a fearful avoidant. I don't know if you know what that means, but attachment styles are pretty much is based on the fears people have with close romantic relationships. So anxiously attached people have a fear of abandonment. Avoidantly attached people have a fear of intimacy and losing their autonomy. And fearful avoidant people have a fear of both. How recently did y'all break up?
24 hours ago.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, brother. If she broke up with you, she'd been wanting to break up. My gut is going to it's not a real breakup though.
Can I ask you something though?
Sure.
Because look, by no means am I perfect. I
Sure.
know I'm not trying to be the perfect boyfriend, but
Right.
and it's hard to explain everything we've been through because it's a 7-year relationship. People are gonna have opinions, quick
Sure.
opinions based on what I've told them. They don't even know me. I don't even know them.
Right.
At the end of the day, like you said, I can only give you like.
Yes. What's your question, bro?
Just-
What's your question? What point you about?
So basically, my question is, okay, where did I essentially go wrong? Like, was I wrong for having that conversation, just asking her about the screen protector? Was that
No.
too much? Was that being pushed over? Was that
No.
Like, I just want to know what I could have done. Like, what I did was wrong. Or
No.
that's toxic.
Ignore everyone in the chat. If you weren't going to her with accusations of like she's cheating on you, you didn't do anything wrong. The women in the chat,
Never.
if the women in the chat were with a man who randomly got a hidden screen protector, they would have the same fucking questions. Ignore all of that. Ignore all that nonsense. You have people playing like this man versus woman game, and they can't see their own side because they're on team woman or men are on team man. It is some questionable to purchase a screen protector, especially when you spend 98% of your time with the person that you're with.
She
Yeah,
works
that's
from
questionable.
home, bro. I work from home. She works from
Exactly.
home. We work together 98% of the time.
Exactly. Now, if she was going out to work, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. That's what
But
I'm
you
saying.
being at home is questionable. It doesn't mean anything, but that's a very normal thing to be like, well, why did you do? That's normal. Don't let anyone gaslight you to think that's not normal. That is 1000% normal. Okay? Now,
Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
so on your end, though, I think that the behavior in the relationship, which I give both of y'all grace because y'all have only been with one another, right? And y'all are learning like relationships through each other. You say you're 25, 7-year relationship. You obviously you're each other's core relational experience. But the way that you show up in a relationship is going to cause an outcome that I like to call a death by 1,000 cuts. Right? So that means that the way that you show up daily is going to be a little bit draining. So what you're doing is like called over communicating, over explaining. That's an anxiously attached thing. So you likely have a fear of being abandoned. And one tactic that you deploy to kind of grease the wheel with conflict is over explaining yourself. You're basically being like taking the position, if I say this perfectly to you, you'll understand me and we'll avoid any issues.
Yeah.
If I can perfectly articulate this situation, I can avoid the issue, right? But that kind of sucks the life out of the connection, and it comes from a needy place, right? So that's one thing you're doing. Two, I think that you also are bringing up a lot of issues more than likely, right? So when you're feeling off, because both of you are each other's world,
Yeah.
which is probably the core problem. There's a book on this called Mating in Captivity. It's all about how to maintain passion in long-term relationships. Most people either spend too much time together or not enough time together. Y'all are in the too much time together camp. You both work from home and you live together. You don't have your separate lives. You're codependent, effectively. You don't have separate lives. You should have your separate lives and separate identities and then also come together and have a shared life, right? Y'all are only doing the shared life, which can cause these kind of issues long term.
So how can we fix that? I mean, like you said, we live together, we work from home. Like how?
What this is?
I also go to the gym. I go to
Okay,
the
that's
gym
good.
at night.
That's
I
good.
go by myself. I do my own thing. I hang out with my friends. Like
How frequently do you hang with your friends?
I mean, often, I guess. Not as often as I would like, but often.
Give me like a number. Like how many times per week?
Per week, it's not that consistent. Like if I say, like I could go maybe 2 months without really hanging out with anyone.
Yeah, that's not enough. That's a blip in the radar, right? So like you want to have your own thing that you do, maybe on like a weekly cadence. You need more time for yourself.
Every day I go to the gym at 8 p.m.
Okay, that's not enough because you're still spending so much time together. Like if y'all are both going to work and you didn't work from home, and then you also went to the gym, okay, maybe that'll work. That 1 hour you're spending at the gym ain't enough based on the fact that y'all are in each other's face all day.
Yeah.
So you need to find you have to find some hobbies or things that are important to you that can you have to build your own separate identity outside the relationship, because from an anxious attached perspective, the problem that a lot of anxious attachers do is they make the person they're with romantically their entire world. So if that person leaves, their entire world feels like it's ending.
But that's the thing. That's the weird thing, because she broke up with me. Yeah, I was shocked, but mentally right now I'm level-headed, if that makes sense. Like
You're level-headed because it's been 24 hours and y'all still live together. You would not be so level-headed if she moved out of the house.
Like if she got up and just left?
Yes, and now you have to sit in silence. That level-headedness will go away very quickly. So you got to have some stuff going on. And I would encourage her to have some stuff going on. If there are some things you want to do and then she wants to come with you, like, slow your roll. Slow your roll. Right? So you have to go out and do your own thing. And Carmelian, I don't think we can be so quick to be like fearful avoidant. Just because you hear something that may sound like avoidance, you just heard him say that he wasn't bothered by the relationship ending that much, and then your brain went to fearful avoidant. That's too big of it. That's too quick of a jump.
I mean, come on. I definitely shed my tears. I definitely got sad about it, but like, what can I do? She broke up with me. I can't go to her and be like, "Oh my God, take me back. Like, we gotta fix this." Like, I don't want to bombard her. I want to give her, her space.
Right. Give her space. Have your own thing going on, and then let time do its thing.
Apartment. I'm in one room. She's in the other room right now. We're chilling. If we talk, we need to talk about bills or whatever. But right now, we're not really like talking nothing relationship wise right now.
Silent treatment is also protest behavior, Carmelian. Come on now. Anxious people give protest behaviors as well. I mean, they give silent treatments as well. Anxious people can act avoidant for different motivations. So,
are you talking to me about that?
I was talking to Buddy about it. He was spamming fearful avoidant in the chat. So, yeah, you got to have your own thing going on, brother. You got to. This is a lesson you should take with you. I'm not telling you to have your own thing going on so that this magically solves your relationship problem. I'm telling you that so that no matter what relationship you have in the future, you won't find yourself in this kind of predicament again. You can't lose yourself in a romantic connection. You have to maintain a sense of you.
Boundaries. Like, I can't be my own person and be on. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we talked about that. We've definitely like realized both that like she's told me, she's like, oh, like we've spent a lot of time together. I'm like, yeah, we do. But like, not to diminish her or anything, and I've encouraged her so much to like go out and have friends, but she doesn't have any friends. She doesn't really have anyone else but me. And I've encouraged her, like, reach out to your old friends that you lost connections with, be cool with them. And she's depressed with her family situation and all that stuff, that I'd be there for her, but I can't fix that. I can't fix her family issues.
Yeah, and that's why I say that this her breaking up with you was likely a emotional reaction. You didn't dive deep in the family issue, but if she is depressed based on what's going on, how long has it been going on, by the way?
I'm telling you, it feels like black magic. Like literally 3 weeks ago, everything was good, and out of nowhere, her family just crumbled. The
Gotcha.
entire family just
Okay.
crumbled.
So she's very dysregulated right now.
Yes.
She's very
100%.
dysregulated. So she probably was being reactive. I doubt this was a real breakup.
And that's
I
really
think
what's
normally
common
when you
thing
bring
too.
up stuff like this to her, she gets annoyed and then she gets over it. This time, because she has an additional stressor, she has an additional weight on her, the dam broke.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then she defaulted to breaking up. I don't think that this was a real breakup. Because oftentimes women break up with you mentally first. Normally. They break up with you mentally, and then they start grieving their relationship while still in it. And then they'll actually break up with you. They normally don't break up from a reactionary place. Men tend to do that. We tend to break up from a reactionary place. We don't do the whole mental breakup thing. So my read on it is she didn't really break up with you. She's probably regretting what she said. Maybe pride is stopping her from actually having the conversation. But I think it's the additional stressor of the family issues, especially considering that you said that the family fell apart. So it must be a real big thing.
Literally. Yeah.
It's just she's not going to be herself right now. So with that being said, I want to change what I told you to do. If you want this relationship to work. How have you been there for her since her family has been having their issue? Let me ask you that.
Like I said, bro, keep in mind, I have a torn ACL and my leg is still in a brace. I
Right.
literally cannot move.
Right.
Like, I can move and stuff, but like
I got you. But how have you been there for her since?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So she has told me multiple times that I'm always there for her. She cried on my shoulder.
Okay.
She explained to me everything going on. I told her be strong. Like I've been there for her, and she knows that, and she thanks me every day for it. I've been there for her. She's cried for me.
How have you been there for? How specifically? Behaviorally, how have you been there for her?
Behaviorally, when I see her that she hasn't really talked long enough or has been silent, I tell her, hey, like, you want to get your mind off of things, you want to watch a movie, like, let's, like, even though I can't really move or go out, like, do you want to go to, outside on our balcony and just talk about things? And she's like, no, I don't really want to talk about it. Like, and I understand that, like, you don't have to tell
Okay,
me
I got you.
what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this that over explaining thing, bro.
So, yeah, I need to send it to that with that.
But I think one of the best ways to be with someone who's grieving or in a sad space is just let them know that you're there.
Yeah.
The way that you've approached it so far is you're trying to solve the problem. Because y'all are kind of, seems codependent. So that means her being off makes you feel off. It's almost like you're sharing the same soul. So you're like, oh, well, if she's off, now I'm going to have a bad day too. I can't possibly have a good day with her being in a bad mood. Is it how it's felt in the household as of late?
Say that again, sorry. What were you saying? Say that again.
Did you feel like when she's in a bad mood, you can't really be in a good one?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's causing you to try to solve the problem because you're not really trying to solve the problem to make her feel better. You're trying to solve the problem to make yourself feel better. Because her being in a bad mood puts you in a bad mood.
I'm not gonna say bad mood though. Like I'm not gonna be.
It's still affecting
like lower.
Right,
like
it
I feel
lowers
sad
you.
with her.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So the best way to be for someone in that situation is to let them know that you're there. Don't try to make them feel better. Don't throw out a whole bunch of ideas. Just communicate. If you need to talk about anything, I'm here. Right? It's just your presence. Your presence is being there for her. Right? So I would say short term, that's the play if you want the relationship to work out. But this is ultimately a safety issue. So her being dysregulated right now, she's not in the mental place to handle any kind of relationship issues. So this is the wrong timing to bring up any kind of relationship issues. Because she already got a lot going on. So unless it's like a life or death or a very extreme situation, bringing up the screen protector, even though I understand why you did it, just for your own edification, this was the wrong timing for that. It's like bringing up somebody. It's like bringing up an issue on somebody's birthday. It's like it's the birthday.
Yeah, and I was wrong for that for sure. I at the moment I didn't. I was wrong for bringing that up to her.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not here playing the blame game. It's still a weird thing to buy. So I'm still with you there. This is not the blame game. I'm just explaining the system to you. The way I help clients is I look at the relationship like a system. I'm not here like this person is the blame person. No. How do these two people, these two nervous systems get, like, how do they make it work, right? So I'm telling you right there, outside of like blaming perspective, you weren't educated on this yet. You didn't know anything I'm telling you. So you can't judge yourself for how you approached it.
Yeah.
Most people don't know this shit.
Death in the family. Yeah, there was nothing crazy like that. Yeah, go ahead.
I get it. I assumed it was a death in the family. So it's like
it wasn't.
There was a death in the family. Okay, that's good. That's good.
No,
Glad,
it wasn't. No,
glad it
wasn't. No, not that.
So, but anyway, regardless, you don't know any of this stuff because people don't teach us these things. So we kind of grow up and get into relationships and we just fumble through them shits. You were fumbling through it. You saw something, you didn't like it, you brought it up, and you try to bring it up in the most healthy way you could. Kudos to you. Other people snap with shit like that and start accusing people, right? So, that's going to be the short-term play. Short-term play, long-term play. Short-term play, be there for her, even though she did break up with you. Still treat her well and be there for her. Okay? Long-term play, when she does make it through this situation, start the process of building your own life.
100%.
Even if things seem like they're going well, this is still something that has to be addressed. It's going to help this relationship or any other future relationships that you have. You got to have your own identity outside of your relationship. Okay?
Okay. So what should I do? Should I try talking to her or just still give her that space? Because now I'm kind of stuck on like, damn, have I been doing the silent treatment this whole time? Like, because sometimes you don't intend to be to hurt the person.
Right. It's called protest behaviors. Anxiously attached people do it. They really just want reassurance and they want attention. So then they start acting out. And sometimes like the silent treatment is something they do. They don't want to be silent. They want you to talk to them, but like they just act out. Right. So I would tell her like, listen, I still respect what you said. I just wanted to apologize for bringing something up because I know you're going through it right now. I wasn't obvious to me that was the wrong timing. And I also want to let you know, you don't have to like respond or anything right now, but I also want to let you know if you ever do want to talk, I'm here for you.
And leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Don't require her to give energy to it. All right. Give that a try and then come back to me and let me know what happened. Follow. I go live twice a day, 12 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You can also shoot me a DM just to let me know how things are going. But I want to keep a finger on the pulse on this one. Okay?
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, brother. You take care of yourself, man. That was a good little combo. Again, people, if you're in a similar situation, you don't know what to do in your relationship, you're struggling. Maybe things have ended. Maybe things look like they're about to end. Maybe you want to end things, you're unsure. Right? Any kind of relational problem. Relationships or dating wise. This icon right here, you can hit that button below, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help you, I will send you a link to book your 1-hour coaching call. This is a paid service, by the way. So do not DM me any questions thinking you're getting free advice. The only free advice you will get is on this live. If you hop in my DMs, that is for a paid coaching call. Okay? What do we think about the last call, chat? What do we think about it? Appreciate you, CJ. See people try to jump to conclusions, man. You gotta ask questions. You saying he didn't tell us the full story? Possibly. He has potential, in my opinion. I think so. I didn't like the privacy screen. I also did not like the privacy screen. I'm going to be honest with you. I, too, did not like the privacy screen. Doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I don't like it. Hold on. Damn it. You got me, Mary. Appreciate you, love. You were right on. I can relate to dude. Yeah, what are you trying to hide? Right. Right. Bids for privacy are a little scary. Right. Like the privacy screen can, it's a neutral act that can really go in both directions. You could get a privacy screen for like genuine reasons, or you could be a cheater who brought a privacy screen so that you can cheat better. Both of those things are true. And to pretend like that's not the case is being willfully naive. Both of those things are very true. But with cheating, I would like to see more evidence. Normally, there's like a confluence of evidence that points to cheating. It's not like a one-off thing. Usually, there's a number of things that will point to it. I'll stand like her having his information, he ain't have hers. Which shows that he's not insecure in a way where he's like assuming she's cheating. It's kind of hard to cheat when you spend that much time with somebody. Don't like privacy screen, however, they need less time together to enjoy being together. Right. It's hard to look forward to seeing somebody if you're just with them all the time. I want to book a call, but I don't want to start crying. It's all right, love. People, like women specifically, cry to me all the time on these calls. It depends on the woman, though. It depends. Some women are like very stoic, but then others they are big crybabies. But that's fine. You got the space to do that. I'm just here to like give you clarity because a lot of y'all don't have clarity on your situation. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how to read it. I'm really good at reading these situations. So you get clarity on the call. You're not getting, like someone DM'd me the other day, were like, is it just advice? No, the live is just advice. The 1 hour coaching call is way deeper than that. I answer the questions that you have and the ones that you haven't even thought to ask, right? It's guidance. You get clarity, and then you also get an action plan to help you get the outcome that you're looking for. Similar to what I gave that guy, except on a coaching call, it will be more specific because I would have more details. All right, who's next? We got a lot of people in the queue. Some probably dropped out though. Hello.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
I'm not sure if you remember the last time I was on here. I was coming back with an update.
Okay.
I'll give a brief overview. Me and my son's dad broke up about 2 years ago. Well, about a year and a half ago. And we had a conversation, and I was explaining to him that I had planned on moving. I didn't give him a time, but I just wanted to let him know that where I was living wasn't where I wanted to be forever. Just because we share a child, I felt like it was fair. The conversation ended, but then a couple weeks later, he came back like, oh, yeah, when do you plan on moving? I'm like, well, I don't have a time yet because I'm still in school, but I just want you to know that, I don't plan on being here forever. A week later, he called again and was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm ready to move now, basically. I don't know if this story sounds familiar or not. Mm-hmm. I know you can deal with a lot of stories.
I remember.
But we,
he's with his parents' house, right? And his dad was involved?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Exactly.
I remember.
So I missed a really important piece of the conversation. once we broke up, me and him we didn't get into it, but he had the baby one night. I was out and he was like messaging me at like 2:00 in the morning, like, don't you want to come see the baby? This was fresh after the breakup.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, sure. I have to pass your house, to come that way. Anyway, I get to his house and him and the baby is in the window. My aunt was in the car with me because I was out with her. They're in the window. So I get out the car, but he closes the blinds and turns the TV. Well, the blinds were closed and it seemed like the TV was turned off. I'm assuming that he's coming to the door. I go to the door. He's not there. I ring the bell because I'm like, okay, I've been standing here for about 2 minutes. I see a light come on, but then I see it go back off. Mm-hmm. So I call, no answer. As I'm walking away from the porch, him, his mom, his dad, and his sister comes to the porch. And basically are like, what are you doing here? I'm dead. What are you doing here? It's 2:00 in the morning. Is everything okay? Why are you here? Just going off, I guess, because also it was 2:00 in the morning, so I understood that. But they weren't realizing that he basically invited me to come see my child. Mm-hmm. I will admit I was a little intoxicated, so obviously I didn't think it through to even be going to their house at 2:00 in the morning. But I didn't get disrespectful at all. But his mom, though, did. She started going off like, oh, you think this is, you think this baby is only your baby, this is his child. You can't just pick and choose when you want to come and get him. In the middle of the night, it's disrespectful, and started calling me out my name, things of that nature. Still never got rude. I decided to just have a conversation with my son's dad's dad, so my son's grandfather. And just explain to him, I wasn't coming to be rude or disrespectful. He invited me here. And he was like, well, why did he invite you here? Just them all trying to be in a victim. They gave me the baby, I left. So that's kind of like how the situation ended, and I guess where it kind of got worse. I think I explained to you that he did have somebody serve me papers to try to get parents in time. But most recently, he texted me yesterday. Him and my son go get their hair done at the same beautician. And I usually go with the baby because it takes more than one person to get his hair done. He asked me if I could wash his hair and blow dry his hair as I was doing my son's because they have a braiding appointment today. I'm like, sure, that's no problem because I'm not thinking anything of it. He come, I wash and blow dry his hair, and then he leaves. And in the middle of the night, he's texting me like, I miss my family, and, I thought about it and I realized that you probably didn't realize why I was kind of being hesitant on getting back together was because the way you and my parents' relationship ended. Needless to say, he wants to be back together.
Ain't that what I told you?
Yeah.
And I told you why he.
I told you were right.
Right. And I told you why he wants to get back together too, right?
I don't remember that part.
Because he's trying to get up out of there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a coincidence that he magically wanted to be more involved once you said that you want to move away.
Right.
So now that he sees that you want to move away, he's trying to hitch a ride. Mm-hmm. And the only way to hitch a ride is for y'all to be back together.
Well, see, kinda, but then again, he makes more than me. He's a police officer.
Okay.
I'm a full-time student. I'm making minimum wage, so
right.
I don't really see me being a ride, if I'm being quite honest.
Okay. So why hasn't he moved? Why hasn't he moved?
Why hasn't he? So he's been coddled his entire life.
Okay.
His first job is an officer, and I was the reason that he got that job. Not got it, but that he decided to get a job. Because he knew he had to take care of a baby, and in order for us to be in a relationship, you obviously have to be able to take care of the child. But outside of that, he's never he was a football player. He left, of course, for college. But after that, he came home, and his parents didn't really require him to get a job.
Right. So you're looking at this from a financial frame. That's not what he needs. It sounds like he needs an emotional safety net. Mm-hmm. He needs a mother to be in his life to take care of him. You the mama. You the mama. So he probably not going to leave because he hasn't really stood out and let his nuts drop and gain his independence.
Yeah.
So you're the person, you're the vehicle for him to have a new experience being in a new place without requiring that development from him.
Yeah. Thank you. You gave great advice. You were correct.
Right. That's why they pay me the big bucks, love. So what do you plan on doing?
I'm enjoying being by myself right
Okay.
now. I'm gonna continue to do that, but also I had to take a break from school. So moving is my plan was once I finished school, I was in school to be a stenographer.
Okay.
Once I finished, to move to a state where I made more money. But obviously with me taking a break, that kind of just pushes everything back.
All right. And how far are you moving away?
You know what's so crazy? When I got off the live, you mentioned Florida, and I don't remember ever saying anything about going to Florida in the conversation. So Florida was an option, or Arizona.
Okay. And how far would that be from where you are currently?
Like 15 hours, I believe.
Oof.
At least.
Okay. What's your plan
I
for
do have
chat?
family in both places.
Okay,
so-
good. That was my next question.
Yeah.
That was my next question. Okay. That makes sense. All right. So are you thinking of bringing him with you? Be honest.
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you thinking of getting back with him? Be honest.
It sounds good, ideally, right? I don't think we had a terrible breakup. I do feel like that in order for us to even think about it, therapy needs to be in place, because I've been in therapy since I was 18. I'm currently 27 years old.
Therapy's not a solution. Therapy is only a solution if your heart posture is accurate. Like if you want to heal, if you want to grow. It's not like a checklist item.
Yeah.
Why did y'all break up?
Just in a moment, we didn't align well. Like after we had the baby, before the baby came, we had agreed that okay, we're gonna give ourselves about 2 years in your parents' home. The baby got here. I was pregnant, of course, for 9 months. At the point of the breakup, it was like a 6 month. The baby was 6 months, and I asked, okay, so what's the plan? And he figured that he needed to save $30,000 in order for us to buy a home. At that time, I was not working. I had stopped working to take care of my baby full time, and then I had like my own business that I was kind of working on. So I told him that doesn't really make any sense. You taking care of me, you paying my car note, my car insurance, all my credit card bills. We aren't going to be able to save $30,000 within the next year or so. To him, it was kind of like, well, my parents aren't making me leave, so I'm not leaving until I get the $30,000. I really wasn't going for that. I'm like, okay, well, no, I'm not. That's not going to work for me. And I figured if we didn't have a solution as far as the timeline, if we couldn't even compromise on like a year, 2 years, whatever it was no compromising. It was like he was stuck in his ways, and I just wasn't willing to stay and not have a definite answer.
And how long ago was that?
This was in May, last May.
Oh, so it was a year ago. Okay. Huh. Doesn't sound like a great reason to break up.
Yeah. And he also was dealing with like mental issues. And his parents would explain to me, it's not the best idea. So he had just become a police officer, and he also is a full-time football coach. He felt like it was a good idea to be a full-time coach and a police officer, and we had a newborn baby. To me, that wasn't really logical because I was in the house with the baby all the time. And his parents were like, oh, well, you can't take something away from him that he loves because it's going to cause him to be depressed and blase, blase, blase. So I kind of just, okay, I'm not going to tell you, stop coaching football. I'm just going to remove myself from the equation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, it's your life, love. You can do what you want. But you definitely be rolling the dice. But I wouldn't be mad at you for trying to make something work with the father of your
When you
child.
say rolling the dice, what do you mean?
Meaning, like, usually the reason why I don't tell people to be so quick to get back together, not that it can't work, is because you typically break up because there's a problem. Mm-hmm. And you don't have the skills to solve the problem. So you break up. But
I'm sorry, what's the second?
I say, so people typically break up because they have a problem and they don't have the skills to solve the problem. So they break up, right?
Yeah.
And they try to get back together. But when they get back together, the problem is still there.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't have the skills to solve it before, you don't magically have the skills to solve it now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yeah.
that's why it often doesn't work out, because it's like the same problem would rear its ugly head again. So maybe the
So you
problem
feel
was
like
like
people.
was
Go ahead.
unwillingness to compromise, or just a deeper compatibility issue, right? Still don't have clarity on that yet.
Yeah.
There wasn't a work towards a solution or an attempt to solve the problem. There was a throwing in of the towel both sides.
He also, well, for me, he wasn't like given enough. Like, okay, it was after, okay, we obviously aren't going to be able to save $30,000 within the next couple of years. That's not easy. His parents were also in the midst of getting a divorce or separating or something. He has like, it's like a lot within his family that I felt like he was dealing with. So for him, it was just easier to kind of just let go of the easiest thing, which was everything except for being a dad. Because I felt like to him, he didn't have an option but to be a father.
Got you. So your situation, from your perspective, is similar to a previous caller where the breakup, at least on his end, was due to him being stressed out with other life circumstances. And something had to give, and he decided to give the relationship. That makes sense. Well, yeah, I mean, if that's your read on the situation, then, I mean, if you're saying that his family is causing a lot of the stressors and was a main contributing factor to the relationship ending before, and moving away effectively removes the family stressor off his plate, I don't see a reason to not do it. But that whole idea of him not being individuated is still going to be a concern. If you were the one initiating everything and you know, kind of playing the masculine role in the relationship, that's going to still be a problem.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't together long enough for that problem to really fully sprout. Okay, so just prepare for it.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you so much.
No problem, though. Best of luck to you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Chat, what we think about that call? What y'all's read on it? Are you going to do all that and he's going to build himself up and find someone else? Not necessarily. Some of y'all be projecting your own wounds. Just because you were left doesn't mean other people will be. Right? Some people build themselves up and stay with the person, believe it or not. That also happens. That also happens. Both things happen. So, you got to be careful speaking with certainty. Like, this is going to happen. No fear mongering. Intuition says no, but I would like to see it work. Right. Especially with children involved. You want to see it work when children are involved. She seemed to be easy to discard him in some ways. I agree with that. So tired of the narrative against building with people. Amen. Some people they're too traumatized to look at things objectively. So they assume the worst. He needs to be independent. If she lets him come with her, she will be raising two men. Right. I agree with you. But there could also be an aspect to the dynamic where she enters into the caretaking role and assumes that responsibility without it being necessary. Right? That happens a lot too. Like, people jump into the situation and like they start trying to, you know, problem solve and control the trajectory, even though they're not really needed. And if the man is passive enough, he'll allow the woman to take that mantle. Okay. He is a coach, he can lead. Right. That's a good call out. That's a really good call out. Clearly has some leadership capabilities, right? If he's a coach. All right. Also, people, if you're new here, make sure to follow. I go live twice a day. I'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So for whatever reason I don't get to your question today, I can get to it tonight. All right. Also, yeah, if you have any issues with dating and relationships and you want to solve your problem, get the answers to questions you haven't even thought to ask, understand your deeper patterns. I was talking to a woman who was like in a pattern of sabotaging connections for 2 decades. She didn't realize it. So we saved her a lot of time. right? So if you want to also understand your issue and more importantly, how to solve it, this icon right here, hit that button below, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help you, I will send you a link to book your call. If you're listening to me answer these questions and you're like, oh, he's insightful, understand. These are 10-minute conversations. An hour is an hour. We go a lot deeper in the coaching calls, okay? People leave changed. So the guy I was talking to yesterday, he's an anxious guy, but he was very guarded. Wasn't very vulnerable, right? Let me just tell y'all this story real quick. So he wasn't very vulnerable. And he was telling me, he was like, man, I can attract women very easily. Like, it's easy for me to get into a relationship. It's easy for me to attract women, but the relationship just never works out. If you know my spark and safety framework, he was giving a lot of spark, wasn't really giving safety, right? So he was like, yeah, it's just, it just never works out. And they, they break it with me because they say like they're used to guys chasing them or they're used to guys applying more pressure. But I'm like very nonchalant. I'm like super nonchalant. And I'm like, have you always been nonchalant like that? He was like, yeah, I've always been nonchalant. Like, I care about these people. It's just, it's not registering to them for some reason. I was like, interesting. So I would talk to him about his relationships and I was like, so in one of your previous relationships, like, do you typically bring up conflict? He was like, nah, not really. I said, so was there anything about the previous 2 relationships that you had that you didn't like about those women? He was like, no, not really. I was like, huh, okay. I said, does anything kind of make you anxious though? He was like, yeah. He's like, sometimes when they create space, I get a little anxious and stuff like that, but I don't want to appear weak. He said, I don't want to appear weak, so I don't say anything. That was the signal. I don't want to appear weak, so I don't say anything. So some coaches will listen to his story and be like, oh, he's avoidantly attached. Avoidantly attached people don't have that motivation. They're not telling themselves, I don't want to appear weak. Them being avoidant is their default setting. Him being avoidant was a performance. Different thing. Come to find out, he was an anxiously attached man who was preventing women from getting close to him. So I asked him about his connection with his parents. His father was a very stoic. He was Caribbean. Parents were Caribbean. Father's very stoic. Doesn't really connect to him emotionally, right? But he protects, he provides, does everything that a man should do in the household. Was a good husband, gave a lot to the family unit. And I asked him about his mother. He got kind of quiet. And he said he liked his mom, but he really had an issue with her when he was 18 because his mother left his father for another man. His mother left his father for another man. He had an issue with that. That impacted him emotionally. Right? Now remember when I told y'all, people who are anxious, who act avoidant, it's often because there was like some pain. They had some pain with a person that they dated. So then they shifted their strategy and started acting more detached, acting like they don't care. But normally that happens when someone who you're in a relationship hurts you. This guy was different because it was his mother who did it. So his mother left his father, who he perceived to be a really good man, right? Because he told me he's very successful. This guy who I was talking to, he's very successful in life. And he says, well, everything else in life, if you give a lot of effort, you can be successful. Success is probably guaranteed. He said, but with women, you can do everything for them and they can still leave you. He told me this before he told me about his parent situation. He said, you can do everything for them and they can still leave. And when I asked him more questions, I found out where he got that belief system from. He got the belief system because he observed his parents' relationship. He observed his father doing all these kind of things for the family, doing all this stuff for the mother, and the mother leaving him for another man. So he learned the lesson from that. Women can leave you even if you break your back for them. So he decided unconsciously in that situation, he would never let a woman get close enough to him. He would never let a woman get close enough to him to hurt him. And that was the core of his issue. And he was like, bro, I've been dealing with this therapist for months. They didn't even catch that. You caught that in an hour. He said, what you just told me blew my mind, right? That's what we do. That's what we do. Now, I know there's going to be some birds in the chat. who have the belief that women only cheat or do something or leave relationships if the man did something wrong. You are a non-thinking person if you think that way, and this is not the place for you. I want you to unfollow me. This is not the live for you if you think that way. This is for people who are actually intelligent, who know that people are people, and that there are both flawed men and women on the planet. Women are not angels who only react when they're hurt or somebody treats them bad. No, there are some women out there who are not that great of people. Some of you had bad mothers, right? Some of you have known women who have hated on you for no reason. You didn't do anything to them, right? Imagine you had a woman who was hating on you and then someone told you, well, you must have did something to her. How mad would that make you? How mad would that make you, right? It's not always the case. It's not always the case. People are people, and people are flawed. So, anyway, if you want those type of breakthroughs, like I said, get your 1 hour coaching call, this icon right here, hit that button below, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help you, I will send you a link to book your call. And for those of you who've already messaged, I will follow up with you after I get off live, okay? All right, do I have time for another call? I think so. I think so. I know some people have probably dropped from the queue. It's all good. Someone's watching the Michael Jackson movie, won't you? What's up, boss?
Hi, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Hi. So my question is, I have I'm going.
Danny, come on, we gotta get him back. Boss, request again. I think the mods accidentally took you down. So Maya, you coming in late again? Ay. Maya's late again, everybody. Once again. All right, my bad, bro. You still there?
Yes.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Yeah. So I went no contact with my ex like 3 weeks ago,
Okay.
and some context is I moved away from my home state to California a while back for work. But the thing is, me and my ex, we're in a lot of closed spaces together. Like I go to church every week, and like we both go to just the same church. And so, and also we broke up. We broke up like a month ago. So, anyways, my question is, I don't know how to act because it's inevitable. I'm gonna go to church. He's also gonna go to church, and I'm not sure how to act when we get to the same spaces. Like we're in the choir together. Like we do a lot of things together. So yeah.
Okay, so you went no contact with your ex, but you still have to go to the same places as her.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to act. How old are you two?
I'm 23 and she's 21.
Okay. And how long were y'all together?
We were together since June of last year.
Okay.
So about 11 months.
Okay. Why'd y'all break up?
Okay, so we broke up because I think it was miscommunication, but essentially she was saying she felt like I wasn't hearing or listening to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I'll give a little bit more details. So what caused the breakup for real is when so I went back to New York in like a couple of months ago. I was working from home in New York, and then she was there also. So that's how I would go see her.
Mm-hmm.
But when I would go to see her, so during the day I'm working, but I'd still try to like get on the train. So she's like 2 hours away from me with the train.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to get on the train and get to her campus, and then try to like see her. But a lot of the times I wouldn't be able to wake up early enough. So with like the trains and the issues with the train and the timing, and with work I had, I would only be able to get to her on Sundays, for example. But I would try to see her on Wednesdays. But Wednesdays was a little tricky because I had work, and so I had to wake up earlier than usual to try to get to her on time. And it was like, and if I missed one train, it would take another 2 hours to catch the next one.
Right.
So there's a lot of it, and so, and that kept on repeating. So, like I'd say, oh, I'll come on, like let's say Wednesday, and then I would get to be able to, but I'd come at like 3 p.m. instead of the 9 a.m. we had like planned originally. And like that kept going on, and I realized later on that she texted me, and I think that's one of my issues. She texted me after it happened like 2 or 3 times that she, like that she was disappointed, and like that was bothering her, that pretty much that kind of thing where I was kind of letting her down because I couldn't get there on time when we were planning this, and then the thing is, like, I would do it. I did it like the next week. Wednesday came, and then I did it again, and I like it. To her, it's always like I have an excuse. It's always something. So that was what caused us to break up. But I feel like from what I'm getting, it's like it's a repeated thing where to her it feels like I'm not showing up.
Okay, I understand. So you still have to see her. You could also like forget to show up at the spot y'all going to meet up at, right? Like, oh, you said it was church, right? Never mind, you can't skip church. Gotta go to church. Gotta go to church, unfortunately. Here's how you play it. You want to avoid things being awkward. I get it. You can just speak, acknowledge her like you would an acquaintance, and then just keep it moving.
Okay.
You don't have to force some. Yeah, you don't have to force a moment like hugging and what have you been up to? All right, none of that. Just hi. Just an acknowledgement, and then keep it moving. Given her age, I doubt she'll acknowledge you. She'll probably play the card of like pretending like she doesn't see you. Be prepared for that. But yeah, this is something that will solve itself with time. Okay.
Okay. And then another question is, so if I want to get back together, like we're no contact, so I'm not even gonna try to hit her up or anything. But is there anything I should be doing?
So that's the real question. The real question is how to get back together with her.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got to lead with the real question next time, brother. All right. No, there's not really much you can do, to be honest with you, because she broke up with you for a logistical concern. Like you just weren't being consistent enough in seeing her. So she probably felt like it wasn't that important for you to see her, so she ended things. So I wouldn't be so concerned about getting back with her. I'd be more concerned about, like, can you build yourself into the person who does what you say you're going to do? That's incredibly important. It's an important quality to have, especially with us men. Because if you don't have that quality, if you are the type of guy who's going to go and say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and you don't do it, forget about this relationship. That's going to ruin the next one, and the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. You have to cultivate that quality. So your energy shouldn't be spent trying to get her back. Energy should be spent trying to become a better person. So if she does come back, she gets a better version of you. A version of you that can actually hold the connection.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, brother. You take care. That was actually a good answer, low-key. I hope he received that. Danny Boy.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Your profile pic still drives you for a loop because it looks like you have no drawers on.
I don't.
I just see thigh and graphic tee.
Exactly. That's on purpose. I was gonna ask, did you want to announce the form for the raffle we're doing?
You go ahead and announce it, big dog. The floor is yours.
Okay. Guys, as you know, we're planning a trip to Dallas this August. Marquette and the mods are going to meet up. If you guys are interested, we're going to have some spots available. So if you're interested in joining us, shoot me a DM. I'll send you the form to fill out. And it's about all there is to it.
My man.
Awesome.
Maya said, "Don't even submit, y'all. I'm gonna win." Right.
Bold.
You know how many slots?
Right.
You know how many slots we'll have?
2 to 3 as of now. I have 3 of the mods that messaged me already to RSVP, but we have 10 spots total.
Okay.
Including you and the mods. So depending on who can and can't join, we'll have more available.
So right now we have 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah.
And it's
as of now.
When is the date? What are the dates?
We'll probably do the drawing beginning of July. So I think the 27th is the cutoff. I'm going to have.
So when are the dates for the actual trip so people know?
August 14th to the 17th.
Okay, so it's going to be August 14th through the 17th when we actually get the Airbnb in Dallas. This is something me and the mods are doing, so all the mods are coming unless they can't come. This is not just for mods. We're just opening up slots for people in the chat, men and women who want to join in. Okay? So, it's also for you if you live in Dallas as well. Like, you just want to come hang out. We'll probably have like a little Q&A session there as well. We'll see. So, have a couple of slots open. If more mods drop out, then we'll open up more slots. But reach out to you, Danny, if they are interested.
Yeah, just shoot me a DM.
Okay. Cash, you're not coming. There's no way you're coming away from Australia. Way in Australia. We're just gonna hang out, man. Enjoy the city. Enjoy each other. Like I said, we may do a little. We were thinking about doing like a little meet and greet, like Q&A thing. We haven't decided on that yet, though. But yeah, y'all just want to come, kick it, watch me go live from Dallas. You're more than welcome. Just reach out to Danny so that we can do the drawing in, you said late July or early July?
Early July. We'll do the drawing early July.
Okay.
So shoot me a DM between now and then.
There we go. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll let you get back to it.
All right, Chief. Nadia says she's in Houston. She can stop by. Come on by, Nadia. Literally live, right? Literally live. Me and Danny were talking about like having like a Q&A possible like meetup there because me and him want to do like seminars next year. Because y'all know Danny does his own events. If you're ever in the Charlotte area, he does speed dating events there. So definitely connect with Danny. Follow him. You must be following Danny if you want the opportunity. Also, so don't just DM Danny. You also must be following him. Okay. All right. No more calls, but if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. Again, if I didn't get to your question today, I will get to it tonight, so make sure to follow. I'll be live again at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. What's your general dating advice for a 20-year-old and trying to avoid all the mistakes these older people be making? I would say get into alignment, Cass, with what you actually want. Don't be so distracted. So if you want a relationship, only entertain relationships. That's a big thing. Big problem a lot of people have. They're out of alignment. I was talking to a client yesterday who wants a family bad, but he like will pick up women at the bars and stuff like that. And it's like, you're out of alignment, brother. You want a family, only entertain that. Advice for not sleeping with coworkers? What do you mean advice for not sleeping? Just don't do it. Just don't do it. You know? Just say no. All right. Any last minute questions? You can drop them in the chat before I get out of here. I don't know when you're fully healed. Women get mad at me because I don't call every day. Well, why don't you call every day? You don't want to call every day. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. What's your ideal like communication cadence? And you'll likely never be fully healed. That's a farce. You just want to be healed enough. It's a lifelong journey, right? It's a lifelong journey. What is the best way to handle anxious attachment? I would need to get you on a coaching call to really see how it's affecting you personally. But usually the Band-Aid solution I give clients is like, I like to look at anxious attachment like you're being possessed. That anxiety is possession. It makes everything feel urgent. It whispers conclusions, negative conclusions in your ear, right? So I call it possession because when you act on what it tells you to act on, when you say the things it tells you to say, after you no longer feel that anxiety, you normally regret it. You're like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Right? It was the demon that made you do it. So knowing that, whenever you feel that anxiety, just make a simple rule that you cannot do or say anything while feeling that way. If it's telling you to send a text, say, okay, I'll send the text once I stop feeling this anxiety. Once this feeling goes away, I'll send it. And the reason why that works is because once you no longer feel that way, you will no longer want to send the text. You won't even want to send it anymore because it's the feeling making you want to do it. You said every night calls is cool, but multiple times a day is too much for me right now. Okay. You said right now. Why are you qualifying that with right now? What's going on right now that makes that overwhelming to you? Where to find an exorcist? Right here, brother. If you need a priest to exorcise the anxious attachment demon, you should book a coaching call. How do you differentiate between a secure or anxious style, though? Well, you know, anxious attachment or any kind of insecure attachment styles is predicated on the fear that you have. So anxiously attached people fear abandonment. And they don't just fear abandonment. A lot of them assume abandonment will occur. Secure people don't really have those fears. I meant thought. If you're feeling the anxiety, anything you think is an anxious thought. Don't believe nothing you think. Would you be open to doing matchmaking one day? I'm open to experimenting with it eventually. Not no time soon. But normally I like to taste things before I just say no, right? So I might experiment with it, especially considering that I'm building a rather large audience of both men and women. So matchmaking would make sense, honestly. Most people in my space talk to one or the other. I have the good or bad fortune, depending on your perspective, of talking to both. So it is an additional service that I can provide. The thing that makes me hesitate is people who normally want matchmaking tend to be insufferable individuals. Do you believe that ex-spouse can go back together? Sure. As long as you have learned and grown from the previous experience. How do I compliment a man for real? I feel like I'd be calling him handsome, sound like a big mama or something. The Big Mama is crazy. Big Mama is crazy. I mean, yeah, I like being called handsome. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think you just have a discomfort with it. Do you feel like exposed when you give a compliment? I don't think the compliment is the problem. I think you giving a compliment makes you feel exposed, and you don't like that. Does that sound right? Does it sound true to you, Maya? You have to build matchmaking filter of some type. Yeah, man, that's the only thing. Matchmaking people tend to be like real matchmaking people, not like the people on the live. That's not real matchmaking. Real matchmaking normally is a high end. It's a luxury service. It's a luxury service. It's normally with like affluent people who are very busy and they want connection and they think that their success necessitates them finding a partner on equal footing. I feel like they don't receive it well. Some people don't receive compliments well. That's true. I trust your matchmaking. I appreciate you. But there's a white woman on TikTok who's a matchmaker, and she shared like a lot of her stories. Where her clients are like chopped, just completely chopped. And they're like, person must be this, that, and the third. They're describing like a dream person. And they think that their level of success or the amount of therapy they've undergone makes it so they deserve somebody who's like a top 1% person. I could be reading it wrong. How does he like respond to you saying that? I know you're not talking about the Muslim matchmaker. Is she Muslim? She looks white. She looks white to me. But yeah, but you watch her content, it's like always a horror story. And she's always annoyed. She's like, this guy wants a Victoria's Secret model. And then this woman wants Thor. And I can't make that happen. Because the Victoria's Secret model doesn't need a matchmaker. Nor does Thor. Right? One can be white and Muslim. That's true. That's true. You're right. I heard Muslim. I thought person of color. She will flat out tell people this option fits your request and is more attractive than you. And that's the problem, Hannah, because they're hiring a matchmaker because they don't believe that's true. If they were going to get someone who's just on their level, they would never hire a matchmaker. They're hiring a matchmaker in an attempt to get someone who's not on their level. If her advice is going to be, yeah, find someone who's like your looks match, I'm sure their response is like, what the fuck did I hire you for? I could do that myself. Right. Right. You're right. You could have. But a matchmaker is creating like the constraints. Remember what I said, you got to put in today's dating market, you have to put constraints on yourself. Because historically, the environment and the lack of technology and the societal expectations were the constraints. In the world we live in today, all the constraints have been removed, and people tend to make bad decisions when there are no constraints. Imagine driving on the highway and there's no speed limit. Would you even risk driving on the highway if there was no speed limit? If there was no enforced speed limit, would you ever get on the highway? Right. Dating right now is driving on the highway with no speed limit. there's no constraints. Very dangerous. People make bad decisions when there's no constraints. So some constraints that I normally recommend is like dating one person at a time. Like in Germany, Maya is now flexing on how well traveled she is. Thank you, Maya, for letting us know you've gone to Germany and most recently Greece, that you're just a globe-trotting individual. Thanks for that, Maya. Thank you for that. How do they pull that off over there, I wonder? She came to mingle with us peasants, right? Right. She said, all right, see y'all later, y'all. I'm going to go hang out with the poors. Globe-thotting is hilarious. Not Maya, of course. But there are some. Like the solo travelers are a mixed bag. The solo travelers are a mixed bag. There are some people who like to solo travel and they just are very curious and they just want to see the culture, right? And there's other solo travelers who want to taste the culture. Literally. Some guys look at that as a red flag. Look at that as a red flag. Shorty going all these places by herself. What are you doing out there? What are you doing? What you got going on? I already know the play. You go out there, you hop on Hinge, hop on Tinder real quick. Come back with new DNA. Like Peter Parker, you just come back to America with new DNA. How you get this DNA? Where did this come from? International meat matching is crazy. Crazy. All right, people. Y'all are so bold. I'm so scared of men. I hate that for me. Why are you scared of men, love? You know what you should do? You should get a coaching call so we can talk about it. We got to get you over this fear. Huh? Never crossed my mind to get on the dating app when traveling. He just gave me an idea. Eva. Got to come back pregnant. You know, smuggle a baby across the borders. All right. I have a call coming up, people. I got to jump. Enjoy this live. Had a lot of good questions. A lot of good content for me to repost. If you're new here, make sure to follow. If you want your 1 hour coaching call, remember this icon right here. Hit that button below. Shoot me a message. I'll be in touch. If you're new here, also, I stream these on YouTube. Link in bio for that. So if you ever miss a live, you can find it on YouTube. Okay? Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all tonight. Y'all take care.